Hi, my name is Dave Ratt, and today I'm looking at some headphones. I have a little test jig set up here, piece of wood, hole drilled in it, microphone going through it. The headphones are reproducing peak noise. That was the other ear here that I'm not testing at the moment. This has been on for about 6 days now. This is the real-time analyzer. 25 hertz to 20 kilohertz, although the last two frequencies are not working. It's an old archaic piece of junk. And by today's standards, not very high resolution, but for what I'm doing today, it's more than enough resolution. In fact, right now it's at the 2 dB scale. If I put it on the 1 dB scale, you can see that the resolution of this is actually too accurate to see the entire waveform at one time. So for what we're doing, it's more than accurate enough. This is not some very high-tech, highly defined nuance. These are drastic, huge, audible shifts. So audible and so drastic that if you actually look at, these are 8 dB between these white lines, if you can see them. It shows us approximately 16 dB down at 250, 315 cycles. To give an idea of 16 dB down, 10 dB is 10 times the power, 16 dB is going to be about 15, 16 times the power. So there's the frequency response that we're seeing after 6 days of burn-in on these headphones. And if we go to, before I do that, what I did is, when I first started this up, I saved the frequency response curve when I started. So what I'm looking at is how much does burn-in affect the sound of these headphones. And if it does affect it, you know, where is it a significant amount, and how likely is it to be audible? So let's go ahead and look at that. And there you have it. That's what they look like 6 days ago, before the burn-in process. That's what they look like now. I can go to and as you can see, we see a couple of these moving a dB or a couple dB in either direction. And if I put this on fast response, we see all of them moving a dB in each direction. Within the margin of error resolution of the instrument. Maybe burn-in does help. Maybe it doesn't, but the amount that it affects it is in the big scheme of things, compared to the frequency response that we're looking at here, not a heck of a lot. Now let's look at what, have a rest, guys. It's been on for a while. Let's have a look at what, how can I do this? Let's have a look at what the signal going into the headphones is. Now I'm going to take the output of the analyzer, plug it into the front, and it's a bit hot, but as you can see, that's what we're sending. It's not perfectly flat, it's a little bit sloped there, but we're within 4 dB plus or minus. We're down a couple here, up one, down one. So that's what we're sending to the unit and to the headphones. And that's what the headphones are reproducing. Now ideally, what's coming out of the headphones will be the same as what goes in if it has an accurate reproduction of the musical source or the input signal. If they're not close to begin with, burning them in isn't going to get them close. Now they are close to begin with. Then burning in isn't going to make that much of a difference because they're almost already there. Maybe we're asking too much of the headphones. Maybe to say what goes in and comes out is more than these things are capable of doing. Though, here's a pair of Denons. Same thing. Put the thing up there. What did I do? Did I turn that down? See, look at it. Turn that down a couple. Let's go ahead and turn on the side that we're actually using. Now, there's a pair of Denon D2000s. Same test rig, same signal. Not burned in. I'm not sure if burn-in is per se what we're really concerned about here. Finding a pair of headphones that does not have a flat response and then spending a tremendous amount of time burning in and have these complex hoops to jump through in order to make them reach some level of quality, or perhaps just starting off with a pair that sounds good and putting them on and listening to them is the other way of doing it. I personally don't buy into the voodoo unless we have some sort of credibility to it. Does something seem logical? Is it measurable? And is it audible? If it meets those three requirements, then it's definitely something we'd embrace and put into our belief system of audio. And if it's not measurable, but it's audible, then we theoretically should work on a way to measure it, or we should start questioning the audibility of it. If it's only audible in certain scenarios where certain people can hear it and there's all kinds of voodoo attached and you have to spend a lot of money to do it, then and it's not measurable and it's not logical, then I definitely say it needs to be questioned. Burn-in has a little bit of logic to it. It's questionably audible. I actually tried it with some other headphones, played them at the beginning, burned them in, played them later. I can't say that I'm hearing it. I've tested a bunch of headphones. I've seen their response. I haven't seen any significant change in the response. I've gone through over 30 pairs now. And this 6-day test of watching the response versus the memory was the final adventure into that. And again, I didn't see much of a change. What I did see is that the difference between the various headphones is huge. If there's any effect from burn-in, it's extremely slight. I would say spend your money on headphones that are what you want to hear from the beginning, and don't count on having a burn-in period that extends beyond the point in time when you can return them to have them sound good. There's some good headphones out there that do sound good off the bat that don't need this burning in voodoo.